April the 13th it is, today is the Friday. I believe this package, for instance, to be, let's just say, the label, I believe one was reattached to this package. There is almost like a glue here. One can see that somebody glued and stuff. For some reason there is a zero here. I don't understand what that was supposed to mean. I'm just gonna put it this way. I don't know what kind of stuff the individual is using. I was told he's going to be using microwave. I was told he was going to be using ultrasound. And I was told also, however, could not believe that the individual is so criminally insane, how he would also use X-ray gun. And he probably is using something else too. I have no clue what they have given to the lunatic. The best about it is that neighbors and the police department, local police department in Novo Mesto, knew about everything what will go on. This is just about the best thing possibly that could happen. In fact, under MK Ultra, I was even suggested that when they will come here, they will give me like police. They will give me like some kind of I don't know how to say that in English, napotnica, like they will send you to a local hospital where they will measure how much fat you have and stuff like this. On what it will be determined that it is normal to have a sound in your ears and stuff like this. Basically, they're gonna present the whole case like totally normal, but of course me as abnormal and stuff like this. Do you know how this is done? Do you know how you can take this this thing off without pulling it? Of course, it's exactly the way I have suggested about the flax is done. The flax, where you use a double-sided foam. I don't know what is he using. Is it a microwave? Is it ultrasound? Is it what it is? I have no clue. But let's say that this is double-sided foam on which this thing is glued. Let's say what happens is with the ultrasound, maybe with a microwave, I have no clue because none of this stuff is written on the internet, or maybe yes, I don't know. I have not taken time to play with these things. What it does is, I believe it hits this thing here, this surface right behind it, which in this case would be this bag here. And you know what happens? This thing just comes off like this, and it's totally invisible, practically invisible, anything that was done to that, in respect to that paper. That's how, basically that's done, and this is how this was done. This is how he switched my mail. This is how he opened my mail and played with it and done everything, whatever possibly he could. I took some video yesterday about the stuff that I have here, and we'll compare this with whatever I have left if I can find something like this. But basically this is how that was done. I gotta say that the switch from this cable, what he would do is he would break me this thing here too from the cable, and so I had to call technician who came here, what was it, the day before yesterday I think. And what he would do is he would cut that thing off and put another one. He would put another this thing on it. Disappeared also, and under MK Ultra, again, I don't even know if you can find this stuff on the internet, but it is possible. On the MK Ultra, I was told that because it looked like this, except that it was blue. I had no idea. It disappeared. The radiator, the heat was turned on and stuff like this. I mean, this is just totally violent. It disappeared, and I was suggested under MK Ultra by the neighbor here, whose name I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say his name only because of one reason, because individual is a handicapped. This used to be an IT guy, worked right here, very close by, and he actively searched for employment when company went bankrupt. He couldn't find one, and he really tried very hard. All over Slovenia, he tried very hard to find this employment. And so therefore it's completely, totally different case from these two criminals here. From the Aleš Berger and his father, and of course Dane Kolenc. And when it comes to Dane Kolenc, it's the whole family that knew about these things. They're all involved in it, especially the old man. Old man totally knew everything about it, about what is going on and what it will be done and stuff like this. All I'm gonna say is that I will just repeat what I was told they will do to this thing here, which means that this thing was done to it because it disappeared from the table. It was together with this thing. Two of them I had here on the table. That they will put something inside. I have no idea what will be inside. Between the connectors or something inside, and this thing will be used. I don't know what for, what they use these things for at all. Okay, so this is just a note. I'm not gonna say even for the police department, because we have the most disgraceful police department the world have ever seen. This is the police department that, I don't know, these are like people that bury people or something like this, like on the funeral or something like this. I have no idea what kind of coyotes, what kind of hyenas these are in the blue uniforms here in Novo Mesto. I was suggested, if you say something like this about the Novo Mesto department, and then everything is going to end. Well, I'm going to tell you what else I'm going to suggest to you. In 2007, when you plot me a murder, in 2007, when you plot me in murder, and you switched the tires on my vehicle, you took the tires, the brand new tires. When I came from Florida, the first thing I did, I went to purchase myself a new tires in a shop here in Krško or Brežice. I'm not sure which one of the two. For me to almost kill myself on occasion when I went fishing. I would go fishing, and basically it was the only place I would go because I didn't have job, there was no employment, there was nothing. And so I went to this place fishing, and on my way back, in a location called Hell, Paco, po slovensko, I almost skid off the road into the precipice. I didn't go to the police department because I was repeatedly told, bitched basically, for this very same reason, that if you have some form of accident or something like this, that even if you're not guilty, the insurance premiums just go up. So even if I would go and I report this thing to the police department, it wouldn't do absolutely anything good for me. Another thing was I was forcefully unemployed. So guess what is the logic? What are you going to do? You're not going to go. You're not going to report this thing. It's totally normal. You're not going to do this thing. And I didn't. And the road was covered with the oil. They switched me the tires with the old tires, and I almost murdered myself. That's all there was. I was so much in shock that one of the tires blew up actually. It was a totally worn out tire, blew up. I was so much in shock I didn't know really what to do. What to say. You go to the police and you tell them what. But I did one thing. I wanted to get out of this shithole, this Novo Mesto Slovenian shithole, like I always did. And so what I did was what logically everybody else would do. I ordered the parts from the Germany. And Angela Merkel, because this order to murder me came from Moscow, this This order to murder me came from Vladimir Putin personally. What Merkel did, because Russia and Germany, as you see today, are totally in bed with one another, and according to what I have written about, they always were totally in bed. Vladimir Putin is a neo-Nazi collaborator. That's all he is. What Merkel did is she confiscated 260 euros, which at the time equaled 500 US dollars. When I went to report this incident to the local police station in Novo Mesto, because all I wanted is basically fix the car and get out of here, because there was nothing here. I would drive to search for the job all the way to Ljubljana and so on and so forth, and you know, there was no job. They would invite you to the interview, laugh at you, called me a traitor and stuff like this. So it was really time to get out of here. That's why I didn't want to go back to Slovenia for so many years, because I know that this place is a shithole, and I know this place always will remain a shithole. I know this. I knew this. That's why I collected the money. That's why I stayed so long in the US. Besides, for what they would not allow me to obtain employment in the US. They conditioned me, they blacklisted me, they have done everything possible so they could use me to bring the politicians in this house. And so the local police station in Novo Mesto, what they did is they started to harass me instead. When I reported the stolen money, they started to harass me instead. They started to blame me, that I was the one guilty, that the money was stolen from me and stuff like this. They started to teach me why and how one should not buy from the internet and shit like this. This is how it all turned out. And they started to harass me, and I called and I complained against them to the state, and court assembled here at the police station in Novo Mesto, Senat, and they lost the case against me on what the Slovenian state, the local Novo Mesto police, through the Slovenian state, sends psychiatrists and social workers here to threaten me with hospitalization. That was in 2007. So just so you're gonna know what kind of shithole this is, and especially about this Novo Mesto police here. They know everything. They know absolutely everything about the neighbor, what he will be doing, about both neighbors, what they will be doing, what will go on. And I believe they also had surveillance through the local police station here of this property. And guess what happened? I lost the money, I never got any money, and I had to run from here for life. This was already in 2007. In 2008, in March, I departed this shithole here, and I ran for life to the US. I just want you to know what this place is all about, what kind of police station. Murderers is what they are. These are assassins here. What happened last night was I was attacked here severely, to the point that I could, you could feel brain like something is going over the brain. It's almost like impossible to describe. You could not finish the article. My nuts hurt. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what is it like to get not even 4 hours what should be a sleep for 6 months. This is what went on last night till right here. The car was parked here. It was like something flashing here, and I was really upset. It was like a portion of the body that was there, and I got really upset. I ran downstairs and somebody was inside again here. This is how they do it. So this is extreme form of violence. This is an extreme form of brutality. I could not even write the whole article. I could not even finish the article. I couldn't write a single article. I got sleep 2 hours and I started to write an article. It was so painful. It was so disgusting. I couldn't even finish the article. I made the grammar mistakes. I made all kind of mistakes, and I missed half of the article. I didn't even finish. Because what I wanted to do is I want to go and publish that I'm basically attacked here. I want to do this, and is this what the journalism came to? My efficiency came down probably to 25%. If I wouldn't be as hardworking as I am, you would not even hear from me on the internet anymore. And best about it is, this neighbor promised me these things. He told me he will do these things. And the other one, Berger here, he told me, he said this and this and this, he will be doing this kind of stuff. But he also is involved, and he also is doing this kind of stuff. This is not normal to treat journalists like this. It's not acceptable to treat people like this. This individual told me, if you're going to expose me, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and kill you. Others told me, others suggested me, and here you're going to have to catch him. If you're not going to catch him, he will kill you. This is where he kills you, when you go upstairs again and stuff like this. Oh well, I mean, we're gonna be playing hide and catch here. Me in a situation that I have no control over or anything. I have these poor cameras here, and they're using micro cameras, basically depicting me as if I see the things, and I have control over. When in reality, they have a micro cameras watching me, where I am, what am I doing in this whole thing. So this is gonna be the stuff, and they're gonna be using the X-ray machine, microwaving and stuff like this to murder me, basically like this. Or proclaim me as insane, as I'm crazy because I'm talking about this stuff. I must be insane, eh? This is shit. This kind of police station, I'm gonna tell you. These people are not normal. These are murderers. These are assassins. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start the procedure against the local police station. Because they absolutely knew about all this stuff. They knew about it, and they have done nothing about it. To me, money at age 47 doesn't mean shit. This is number one thing. And even less when you're going to have a cancer, when you're going to have a tumor. Who knows what the fuck these people have done to me here. You get it? This is also one of the scenarios that said, you're going to get the money, you're going to get your money. I didn't want any fucking money. I was the one who traveled 2 continents and have applied for 30,000 jobs before I got into this deal. Remember? I wasn't the one who wanted the money. I wasn't the one who needed any kind of money. Remember, this is the real deal. This is what very few people would have done it. Probably most of the people would go after this kind of money. I didn't want this kind of money, Mr. Bush. I didn't want to have anything to do with you. I didn't want to have anything to do with the Putin. I didn't want anything to do with the criminals, because of whom the whole world today is stinking, is driven insane. I didn't want any of this. About the police, why I'm saying they knew this stuff. I know it because at first they suggested me under MK Ultra that it is Goran Udoc, the one that gets somehow some kind of money from somewhere. He moved to the Krško here. So they knew about this thing. Then that thing stopped. That thing disappeared. Then what they would do is they would use the son from Donna Collins. They would use him. He would use him to obtain the money, and this no longer was through, like he would get these things in cash, but it was done through the business, like through the job deals and stuff like this. This dude travels to the Sweden, and so police suggest, well, this is going to be difficult to trace. Or why is it going to be difficult to trace? Why? Is it going to be difficult? Why am I used here for this shit? Why are you using me for this shit? Why don't you go and lock him up? You knew about this stuff. You knew that he's going to do this. You know what that means? You know about something he's going to take. You are a police officers, and you haven't done nothing about it. Do you know what that means? I got sound in my ears, pressure in my ears because of this shit still. Regarding my being pissed off today, one thing is to be pissed off, to be upset because of what's going on. And yeah, if this is not extreme form of violence, I don't really know what it is. And something totally different is to sit in the chair, in a Kremlin, to sit in the chair and lecture people on how anger is just a weakness. Yeah, that's all it is. And maybe even that a healthy mind will prevail, that world went nuts. This is from the man who totally stink the world, and make no mistake, he was the one who sponsored a neo-Nazism, fascism in the Baltic states and in Ukraine. And so he could get his stinking of the world, his craziness going. That's why the world stinks today. Yeah, Vladimir Putin literally conditioned me. He suggested me that I will never be capable to do anything to him. So basically that's a Moscow, the one. Moscow is, Kremlin is the one that does this shit. Not Vladimir Putin. Because I'm gonna get the Ukraine, and I'm gonna get the Baltic states, and I'm gonna get involved in Kosovo. So what's gonna happen is nobody's gonna be able to do anything ever to me. Individual murders basically and conditions lives to the people through the deals like this. Not only nations, but the lives to the journalists and stuff like this. He is the one, he sponsors the crimes. He is the murderer of Ukraine. He murders people. He murders people in Baltic states and journalists and everything, and left and right. He sets people up. He murders own people. He murdered Givy. He murdered people who fought for the Russia. Whatever he could. Because he stays in the chair, and Moscow, Kremlin supports this criminal. They support him, they tolerate him, because they believe they need him, because he's part of this neo-Nazi global deal in which he got through to me. I was used for all this shit, and now my life is conditioned because of this lunatic. No, I will not go and hate Russia. I hated communism and I hated Russia because of this pigeon that shits all over the chessboard. It's how he referred to Obama as, and Obama really is good for nothing. But what he actually meant when he referred to Obama, he actually meant himself. How pathetic the politic of the Kremlin became. I mean, this is just totally pathetic. A good police that was involved in this case, I'm gonna tell you how good they are. They have actually gestured me that they will help me unless I will get into the matter from 2007. In other words, unless I'm gonna again mention what they have done to me in 2007. This is how good the local police department is. This is how they try to hush people. Believe in the lies, believe in it, tolerate it, and so the things go on, and so what they do is they create the whole cluster of lies. That's all there is to it. Individual who stated this suggested me that he actually somehow convinced, I think, the chief of the police station and then somebody else on how, I deserve the help and stuff like this. This is how great these criminals are, really. Basically totally copycat, same copy-paste system like Miroslav Berger have used here. Exactly the same type of approach, the psychology, how they're gonna help me, how they're gonna actually go and they're gonna witness against my neighbor and stuff like this. And if I'm gonna say something and then it's not gonna be, and so on. So this is just, the idea is to even compel victim to be quiet about what's taking place and make him believe that somebody's going to come to rescue, help him out somehow. Believe me, I'm not naive, I'm not an idiot. I know what this is all about. I remember 2007, I can show you the bills here and everything. And so I remember very well these things.